fellow humans, and welcome to the Black Friday event, which, I mean, is next week, but anyway. Now, you can get 3 out of this event right here if you collect coupons. You can get the coupons by buying stuff in the shop. So, in this video, we're going to go through everything that's in the shop and everything that you should buy, and immediately stop right here. Buy the TF482. If you stop this video right now, buy this vehicle. Okay, you're back? Good. Now, let's look at the rest. Because, well, black box containers are that. They're crates, and they're not really worth it. Black Friday is an event where normally you get extremely good prices, and the Super Hellcat's right here as well. Now, the problem with the Super Hellcat is it's a shit tank. Disappointment there. These things, Black Friday Gold, Black Friday Resources, these are very solid. I mean, you got 30 days of premium time, 3k gold, gold boosters as well. €6. That is a solid bundle right here. Can recommend that. They start off with the T10s, and it is kind of a big of a disappointment here because we have 2 vehicles that aren't really that amazing. Now, the prices are good, but let's start off with the MX-30B here because 12,500 for a T10 tank is a great thing. However, they're selling it for 12,500 because they know that this vehicle is a piece of shit. Yes, it's very cheap, but it's not good. And I would rather pay 2,000-3,000 gold more for a tank that is actually playable. That's where we arrive at the Object 907. This vehicle does have solid statistics all around and can be a worthy vehicle to get some creds with and to have fun as well. Because, I mean, it's pretty damn fast. It has solid enough armor. It's got 7 degrees of contemplation, which works. And, you know, overall, the only downside really to these vehicles is the 310 alpha damage. So, this thing can be worth it. However, it's not like you have to have this. It's maybe consider it if you can afford it. Because the one you have to have, you already bought that earlier, didn't you? Now, Kennedy 1 is a good T9. No doubt about that. This is a good vehicle, and I can recommend it again if you can afford it. It's an auto-loader, so a bit more tricky to play than a regular tank. However, it's got good armor, it's got solid mobility, and it's got a nice gun as well with 7 degrees, which is somewhat unusual for Russian tanks. So, well, Soviet tanks, because, I mean, Russian tanks would immediately fall apart. M41D, you could have gotten this vehicle for free. Why the hell would you buy it? The MX-1357 is a fun tank, however, you will click yourself to death trying to fire. 2.5k is a solid price for it, however, do you want to have fun for 5 minutes and then your fingers hurt? Buy it. Otherwise, I can't recommend it. Type 64, and same with the Poodle, they were given away for free a while ago, and it's a tier 6, so I don't see a point in buying tier 6 premium tanks, to be honest. Even though they're cheap, yes, but here's the thing, for 1.5k, you can get the IS-5, and you'll have a better experience anyway. So, now, let's get into the ones that matter, and that is tier 8. Now, the Skoda T56 is right here, which is a good price, actually, for this vehicle. Last time it was sold for about, 12,000 gold or whatever, which is not worth a tier 8, ever. A tier 8 is not worth 12,000, ever. This tank is like the Object 2 FTU, but with a bit better armor, and worse DPM, but higher alpha damage as well. So, this vehicle is like, if you don't want the 2FTU, you want a 2FTU with a bit more gun depression and a bit higher alpha damage, that's the tank for you. So it is definitely a pretty solid vehicle, and I can recommend it. Why is the T5A down here? Look at that, it's trying to hide. The T5A is trying to hide because of how bad it is. Object 274, I mean, it's disappointing at best. I mean, it's a vehicle that came out this year, and it still has 185mm of standard penetration, which immediately disqualifies it from being worth anything in terms of making creds. So, I mean, you have a Chimera, you have even Centurion 5-1. There is absolutely no point in owning this vehicle whatsoever, because there are better options. Now, the Lance C, well, I don't know, there aren't really... Where's the Chimera? Where's the Chimera offer? A Chimera offer... For 8k gold, that would be it. But unfortunately, in terms of the medium tanks, got screwed a bit. So, Lance C, again, it's an extremely difficult tank to play. You do have a bit more penetration. You got 320 alpha damage, but DPM's bad. The armor doesn't exist on this vehicle. And 10 degrees of concentration is very nice. However, the rest of it doesn't really make up for it that well. And the mobility is just about fine, with the average speed of 35. Like, the 274A is not good, the Lance C is not good, and the 59 Patent isn't good either. Because it is extremely cheap, yes. I mean, to be honest, I would take a Type 59 with all its faults over any of these 3 vehicles, just to make a point. Anyway, now we move on to this vehicle that you've already bought, right? You've already bought it, right? Right? Bit joking here because, I mean, it's not absolutely gobsmacking OP. However, it is definitely still one of these stronger rates. And for 7.5k, last time it was sold, it was like 10k. So this is a pretty good deal because, I mean, you also get the coupons. So you get a bit more extra value for all the bundles. So essentially, like, take off 500 gold for every bundle, then you have the tank price, pretty much. So that's good. And 7k and the coupons for this is an absolutely great price. So can definitely recommend it. Because here's the thing. If the Lanson or the object would be at the price of the 59 pattern, I'd say buy it. But they're not. It's performance to price ratio that is the problem with these. Because the 59 pattern is horrible, but it's a good price. The Lancer C and the object, basically, they're okay, but they're not worth what you're charging here, right? Because then you can get a Skoda or a TFT4 for the same price, and you have a tank that performs just absolutely much better and gets you more crits as well. And then your secondary option, the Kyler, it's solid, surely. 6.5k gold. It's relatively cheap for a tank like this, to be honest. I mean, it's again not amazing, however, it is pretty damn cheap. And if you don't want the TFT4, this can be a nice little alternative to it. It's obviously a lot cheaper, by 1,000 gold, and it performs about 90% of the way to the T54. So it is a pretty solid offer as well. The problem with this tank is just it is a bit slower. It has 8 degrees of gun depression. DPM's not great, but it's got 350 alpha damage and very solid armor on the turret especially. And then we go to the tank destroyers, which are cheap, but this is the TS5 that we're looking at here. We will stop looking at it very quickly, just like that. Then, the Canonier Panzer is a tank that is a bit of a limbo for me, to be honest, because, I mean, on the one hand, it's a tank destroyer, which I don't like. On the other side, it can be pretty fun. It doesn't have any armor, obviously. It's fast enough. Average speed of 40, you can move this thing around very quickly. You got 8 degrees of gun depression, so it is a very passive tank, though, so you want to be able to know how to camp, right? If you know how to camp, if you can use the DPM, this thing is a tank that can just work. I would have loved to see the WZ-120, whatever it's called, because that has a bit more armor and a bit higher alpha damage. However, this one's fine as well, and to be honest, no complaints. If you want a tank destroyer and you can play a paper tank destroyer, this can be a pretty solid option. If we compare this, 11,000 for 2 tanks. If we compare it to the Lanson C, this costs 8,000 for 1 tank. You see the damn problem? This is not a good deal because the 2 vehicles, they're extremely hard to play, right? It's an amazing price. The price is amazing. The tanks, though, it's kind of what that pulls this down. They're both fine. They're both very playable, right? However, you need to be a good player to make use of both of these vehicles, right? So if you are a good player, then this is a good bundle for you. Or if you're a bad player, this is an extremely bad bundle for you, right? Because both of these vehicles can work. This is a nice autoloader as well. And the Ravioli is very high. I mean, look, it has high DPM. This is a better vehicle than a Lanson, in my opinion. This is the best medium bundle that you have in Black Friday at the moment. And it's not a Black Friday bundle. These are... If you need all these things, these are working, but here's the thing. They raised the price 7007. Stop the video, put it in the comments, what do you think? And don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Packet loss is present, certainly, but here we are. Let's see what we can do. The heavies are going city, which is never a great sign. It's never a amazing forecast of victory, but let's see what we can do here. Do I have a download in the background or something? I could explain it. Or maybe everyone's playing. Someone's making a barbecue on the server again. It's also another explanation, but I don't know. Okay, hello there, Annihilator. Now, why is this thing the one where I say just buy it without thinking? Because the thing is, this vehicle can do everything. This vehicle has something for everyone, pretty much. Even if you like the tank destroyer, you can make this vehicle work. It's very simple to play and very good at the high end as well, right? You You've got pretty much everything. You've got gun depression, you've got armor, you've got mobility, you've got DPM, you've got penetration. It has everything and it lacks pretty much nothing. And that's what makes this tank so universally recommended from me. Because here's the thing. I don't want you to have a tank that you're then going to play for 5 battles and then you sell it. That's not the idea of a premium tank. I mean, it's a great idea for wargaming because you keep buying new premium tanks to figure out what you want. However, I recommend doing, if you don't have any premium tanks, buy one that can do everything, like this vehicle, which means if you don't have this vehicle, get it. Because it can do everything, and from there, you can figure out what you want to do. You play a bit more passive. I mean, you shouldn't play this vehicle passive, but if you do, you're like, I'm playing this vehicle very passively. Maybe I should try a tank store. If you're playing it very much hull down, you can think like, okay, I want a hull down tank next. Like, for example, the Skoda can work for that as well. And if you play it very forward and then try to go hunting mediums with it, you're like, maybe I can get a Chimera. Things like that. So that's why I always recommend a vehicle first that can do a bit of everything. Because at this point, you know, the prices are going up. So the more tanks you buy, the more you got to spend. And I don't want you to spend your entire fortune on tanks. And it is a 7-0, in fact. Great. That's lovely. Very, very well done on the 9.4 update there, Wargaming. I very much appreciate the changes. Let's talk about the Emil nonetheless. If you do accumulate 750 coupons, this is a vehicle that is outright worse than the Tech Tree Emil 1, because the turret armor doesn't really hold up that well. I mean, if you do use the full 10 degrees of gun depression, then yes, it does hold up, but on a flat ground, you have no turret armor. But with a 750, to be honest, I would rather get myself the premium days that I need for the next year and be done with it. That's just my recommendation. What do you think? What do you buy? What do you not buy? Put it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Do you think my recommendations are good? Do you think they're bad? Feedback is always appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. See you next one. Goodbye.